Welcome back. Shawn Vicknair here at Lone Star Karate and Self-Defense. A few years ago, I came up with a video about solo drills for Krav Maga Self-Defense and really combative sports in general. I want to continue to expand on that because I got a lot of questions and feedback from that video a few years back. So I want to be able to give you a little bit more understanding. So combative sports, depending upon the sport that you're in, be it a striking sport, wrestling, some sort of grappling, either standing and or ground, you're going to need to work solo drills for your own competence and conditioning. If you do some sort of Krav Maga or self-defense training, you need to make sure that you do all of those things. So striking and wrestling and grappling in order to be able to be competent when it's necessary. Now, before I continue, very big disclaimer, solo drills are not something that you can only work on. Just doing solo drills will not make you competent against a resisting opponent in the ring or on the street. So make sure that you get to class, make sure you have an instructor that's able to keep a watchful eye on you and making sure that you do the techniques and skills correctly. But once you learn it, go home, practice those things diligently every day, make a muscle memory so that when you're in the match, when you're on the street, you're able to be able to do those things without thought, because that's going to be necessary to win your matches and be able to win in life too. So a couple of things I want to start with. If you're a striking person, working on shadow sparring, all the things that you're learning from your jabs and crosses to your hooks and uppercuts to your head movement, right? Slipping and rolling, footwork, all that stuff, your kicks need to be part of your solo training, your shadow boxing. Also, work all that stuff on a heavy bag if you got one in your garage. Working the power, working that resistance is very, very important as well. Now, from a grappling perspective, a lot of grappling arts, and we do a lot of wrestling and ground fighting in our self-defense program here at Lone Star Karate and Self-Defense. And a lot of times it's like, well, how do I work those drills that we have for partners? How do I do those things? And sometimes those things you can't just do on your own. However, you can mimic those things without a partner. So first off, one of the things that I like to work is just simple get-ups, right? So one of the ways that we do that is it's like a sprawl, but it's more from the get-up perspective. So once you're on the ground, how do you get back to your standing? And in self-defense, that's a huge aspect. So we drop this hand down, we sit, we go to our back, knees up, hands are up, and then we come back up. We put that hand down either to the elbow or to the hand. This is not a technique class, teaching techniques, it's just drills that your instructor or that you've already learned. And then you get back up to your hands, and then you switch. You come back down here, you come back up, and you continue to work maybe minute, 3-minute drills, that sort of thing. Another one, from the guard, if you're a ground person, I like these on the bag. So we get here and we wrap our legs around the bag like an opponent, right? And then we just work get-ups here, sitting up, working that core and leg ability, right? Another one from the ground when it comes to the guard is just from the guard position here, we're going to do our pulls here. And you can do those for, minutes. You start with, 30 seconds. Go up to a minute. Go to 3 minutes. Work them into your solo training on your days off. There's several. You can work shrimps. Remember that all of these skills that you work in class, warm-ups, your instructors have built those warm-up drills around true training, skills that are necessary. Now, if your instructor is doing jumping jacks and push-ups and those kinds of things, those are just conditioning, okay? There's no self-defense or combative sport skill that's based in that. However, if you're shrimping across the room, that's a true movement, technique, skill that is necessary for your combative sport and for self-defense. So try to recognize what you're doing in that drill and mimic that when you're training it. So, for instance, if I'm here and I'm working my shrimp, I need to understand what I'm doing with underhooks and keeping a good frame here in order to work my shrimp. So as I bridge up, I come back, there's my shrimp there, right? And work that. Make sure that you visualize what you're doing in order for that to work, all right? Hopefully that helped everybody. There's tons of skills, drills that you can do. Learn them in class, go home and practice them to get your skills up, ready for your combative sport and for your self-defense training. Thanks a lot. Look forward to seeing you again.